welcome back, everyone, to Skyrim 10AD. This is episode 36, and last episode was 35 that I never mentioned. But welcome to Skyrim 10AD, and where we just left off in the Bannered Mare in the back room with a discussion with between Anuzura and Eris with our intrepid gang, our troop of adventurers, posing the question. Anuzura is posing the question to the Kwai: will he aid her in helping to gain evidence against the companions, a local group of apparently heroes, according to Mouse, just recently, that are thought of very highly by the rest of Skyrim. But she's posed the question: would he aid her in finding evidence against them that they're actually Daedra worshippers, namely her scene? And would he help her get this evidence in return for the information that she says she knows about Zanren, or to her Zanren Dar? And she has already claimed that it is not much, and she doesn't know his location. But so, Jukwai, what would you like to do?
So you don't know where he's at. What do you actually know? Anything of worth?
I believe so. Whether it aids you in your journey, I do not know, but it's up to you whether you think this information is worth it or not. I know certain things that you seem to not know. You said you knew him as Zenran, and you do not know why people call him Zenranda. Would this information be helpful for you?
So I'm willing to help you. I need to get the information about my brother. I need to find my brother, and so yeah, I'm willing to do what it'll take to get that.
Well, I have been having a little think, but we may have an issue with manpower. I have these Nords, yes, they, and she points to you, look, and she goes, they love their siege stone, yes, and he goes, no more so than those idiots up at Jorvaska. And he goes, especially the big one, he loves it. Claims to be a great champion of this siege stone. And he goes, and they are apparently they have been challenged by what was her name? I can't remember her name. She was here, but Ataba, that was her name. Matala and Kayla, the traders, the caravan that is coming in about in sometimes. Apparently, they have a secret plan, secret weapon, how they can challenge and win against the big stupid Nords. So they want practice. Because you challenge them to a game while they are out playing this stupid game against you. I go in. They're out there watching you, playing you. Nobody's inside. I get inside. I find the evidence I need. I find the artifacts and or books or diary, stuff like that. And then once I get it, I leave. You are still there. You still play game. While I leave, it has nothing to do with you, right? because you were playing with them. You were all there. Nobody see you do. Nobody see you go. But I am gone. Who is to blame, huh? But I am already gone.
And what guarantee do we have that you will stay and give us the information that our companions seek?
This information is not for you.
He's my friend. It is for me to ask. I'm simply protecting my friend. What guarantee do we have that you will stay and not simply sneak out of the city?
Well, I am going to sneak out of the city. I'm going to be well gone. And I will pass on the information. Maybe I have you come and meet me, but truthfully, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to get out of the city pretty sharpish, pretty quickly, and can't be hanging around because the big one, what they call the Harbinger, she is sturdy, very can destroy many things, very strong, and
yes, I know.
so is Farkas. That one could probably destroy a city all on its own. I have no doubt. This siege stone that he plays, apparently nobody can beat him, and it is only him that they need to win the game. And this, I believe, there's nothing much that I think that could stop this man. Because, but the one that I worry about is Ayla, the redhead. She is a monster. She can find anything. She can move at the great speed across great distances, and she can root out bandits, undead, things all over the place with ease. I must leave quickly, so if we are to do this, you will have to trust the news, or I will get you the information, but I must have what I need first. And I have to have my safety to leave, to go.
Maybe I should come with you.
Well, there is only 4 of you, so 5 people play the game. So you need to be playing the game. And then they will not play with me. So
can I do another insight check on her just for the general truthfulness of the information and her intent?
Sure.
19 plus 6, 25.
Wow. Yeah, she is. She's not too sure about. She seems genuine that she's going to pass on this information, but she hasn't thought that far ahead. She has just come up with this plan, probably because you've got a 25. Over 20 would have gotten you that she was telling the truth, but 25 gets you that she's telling the truth. But you also realize that she's just come up with this plan about 5 minutes ago, just as she's walking in the door, and probably the rest of it when she was sitting there talking.
Yeah, that's exactly that's exactly the vibe you get from her. So my other question, what is my I don't know, Colin, I don't know if you want to do it here or if we want to do it in sort of a deliberation session, but I want to do a couple other history checks or on the Dawn Guard and the companions as well. But that might
go for it. Right, roll your one on the companions.
All right, so for the companions, pretty poor. So only a 9. So I've heard of the companions, I guess.
Yeah, you've heard of the companions. You've heard probably mostly from what Mouse has been talking. I'm trying to think to get more knowledge to the rest of the party. Botty, you could roll a history check as well on the companions, seeing as these are legends of lore, and these are champions, heroes of Skyrim.
Oh, only 9.
9. You know that the companions, you know this well, Mouse. The companions are the go-to group. Well, the only mercenary group. Well, say mercenary, they're a band of heroes, but they are offered coin by jarls and by I was trying to think well-known wealthy people to be paid to go and hunt and kill dragons. These are the only people in the whole of Skyrim who can be offered money to go and get sent out to fight dragons. I'm not sure if you would know that, I would say, Buddy, but I don't think you would know that because you both got 9s, didn't you? Go both. Buddy would know it. I don't think you would know that, I'm afraid, Luke.
Okay, yeah, I screwed the pooch on that roll. Yeah, so I'd like to see what we've had discussions of the Dawn Guard before, but now that the reliability of the Dawn Guard is so critical to understanding this whole mess, I'd like to roll a check on the Dawn Guard as well, and not much better, just a 10.
10.
Maybe Mel should roll an insight on the Dawn Guard as well. He wouldn't know quite so much about them, I don't think, would he?
Thought I got a 2 there.
You don't know much about the Dawn Guard. They're not very public about what they do. Yeah, you wouldn't really know. You'll know that they're vampire hunters, but you don't know that much about it. What Mouse would know is that a few of them have been arrested for murder in the past.
Would he? Well,
that's up to him.
Yeah.
What he does with that information.
Well, the Mouse would like to roll for the cone of silence, so that he can talk to his friends. Can we? So I'm going to just say to Anuzra, I'd like to speak to my companions privately. We'll find if you and Eris can stay here, we'd like to find a private space to talk.
Okay.
I'd like to talk with them privately.
So,
are you willing?
I like that. I had a very similar thought to Mouse, but I'll look at both Anuzra and Eris and say, is Anuzra now have the run of the city, or are you free to walk about Whiterun?
I can go about my business, just a slight destruction of property infraction, as long as he's around. They're not too happy about me here, but I think I should be able to give them the slip and get where I need to be if you can do what you need to do. Eyes may be on me, but with a little help from Eris and the K9, I should be all set. But she reaches out as you go. Actually, I'm not too sure what you're doing. As Mouse says that, she looks to you, Jaquai. She goes, "You it is not much I am asking. I'm asking you to help me, but help people." And she looks at you deep in the eye and goes, I know what it's like when family is gone. How desperate to make someone.
Well, since I can't play this game by myself, I will need to talk to my friends.
Okay.
And what time's it going to be now, Colin? Is it mid morning yet?
Yeah, you're probably looking at getting close to 12 o'clock now. In the afternoon.
We'll come find you after lunch, shall we? I just sort of give the room is that agreeable that we go take a couple of hours to speak and come back and return?
Yeah, Jaquai throws a piece of salmon in between a couple of slices of bread and walks out.
He goes, hey!
The salmon's good.
I throw the elk bone that I bought for Flair. I'll throw on a corner of the floor so that he can have something to keep him busy for a bit.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Luke.
And he goes for it. Well, I'll let Eris say whether he does or not, but yeah, sounds like he goes for it.
Oh yeah, he hits it pretty hard.
All right.
So you guys get up, start to leave the room and sort of like head out for the back room. As they leave, a news turns around, she slaps you on the side of the yard, goes, "What are you, silent partner or what?" He goes, "Oh, we needed help." And he goes, "I can't do it without them. You see that stupid idiot with his mustache? Always pining for stupid fur." And he goes, "Shave-skinned idiot."
I was just following your lead, trying to let you set the stage of what you wanted to do. I think that they'll help us. The information that Jaquai seeks is very important to him, and I think he can talk the rest of the group into helping.
Well, I too know what it's like to wow. And she looks at you like with all sincerity. Look at you dead in the eye and goes, "We all know what it is like to lose family to monsters."
Yes, we do.
If somebody had told any of us that our family was out there and maybe living under a different name, what would we do to find that information, huh?
We would do anything we could.
So, you guys leave, head out probably towards the bar. There's nobody out there apart from Hulda and Mikhail, and the red guard female with the scars on her left cheek.
Well, Mouse doesn't really want to talk in the bar. Mouse wants to find a much more private place somewhere.
Yes. Luke gives no consideration to the bar. And his body tries to order another mead. We get it to go.
So Mouse tries right for the front door and out, and I think he can, with his little set of talents, find a quiet, private spot somewhere. Perhaps even back where they were practicing down by War Maidens or something like that. That's private and out of earshot of anybody.
Yep. And quite quickly too, you managed to trot out and head back to around the back of the apothecary, head towards the wall, head back and sort of like trace along the wall. So you run behind Isolde's house and all the way down the back wall, eventually coming down to rest against the wall where it doesn't seem that there's any patrolling guard there. The wall here is very, very high. It doesn't seem like anybody's going to be able to get up and in over this side. So there's rarely a patrol guard heading this way. You would know that.
All right. So when we get there, Mouse is going to tear off his glasses with furry eyebrows and nose and mustache and look with a very, very hard glint in his eye at both Jaquai and Luke and say, "Make no mistake, I know exactly what it's like to lose family over and over and over again. I will help you, Jaquai. There's no doubt of that, but I want you all to know the consequences of what this Khajiit wants to do. Wiping out the companions is a virtual impossibility. Whether or not they're worshippers of her seeing. The little I know about the Dawn Guard, I don't think that they are the vigilance of Stendar. I don't know why she's so bent on just this Daedra worship aspect, but these people are far more than Daedra worshippers. They're the descendants of Ysgramor. They're fundamental to the history and lore and everything else of this country. So I just want you to know what the consequences will be if this goes to its logical conclusion. That's all I have to say. That's
Well,
why
it sounds to me like we're creating a distraction so that she can get whatever, information she's trying to get from them, so that her group can, decide what their, actions. There's always wars. There's always fights between groups, and we're not participating in that.
I think my point is more that I feel like she is acting as a lone wolf, and that was pretty clear when we got here. She was already out of control, and the Dawn Guard sent somebody to find her, correct? So I don't trust her not to act that way again. But that said, I say again, I will help because I want you to have the information on your brother. I just want everybody to understand where we all are here.
So my biggest concern is, how do you play this game? What exactly is involved?
Like we do everything else, quite by the seat of our pants.
Well, I mean, that's worked so far, but yeah. So the game doesn't require us to kill anybody, right?
I certainly hope not, or the guards will kill us.
Okay.
You pretty much all have heard of Siege Stone. You know the game is played against 2 teams of 5, and it was invented by the Nords, kind of like half training and half just for fun. And it's an area like an area which is covered in sort of like it's in a little recess, so it's mostly like in a pool of water, but it only comes up to ankle high. There is a large wall, but usually now made of wood, not made of stone. So it's a wall, very tall wall made of wood, and on certain sections of either side, they have laid down their shields. A round shield, a long shield, like a kite shield, and 2 long shields, and 1 full body shield. And this is placed on either side, and you get to choose whereabouts these go. Both teams have got 2 players that are known as slingers, and they have a sling type weapon that have small stones inside them. And what their job is to sling small stones over the wall to try and hit the shields on the opposite side, waiting and listening out, which is the job of the spotter. And he runs along a rail that's connected to the wall that separates the 2 sides. And he listens out to see if he hears a splosh or if he hears a clunk. If he hears a clunk, that means that they can guess the area of where one of these shields in. And then the thrower, right at the back, usually somebody pretty strong, picks up a boulder, kind of like an Atlas stone, but a little bit smaller, and he tries to honk this over the opposite side of the wall to destroy the shield of which the other players are all standing on. And it goes back and forth until either both the slingers shields are destroyed, or if the thrower's shield is destroyed. If the thrower's shield is destroyed, then they instantly win a game, which is the main reason for you, Mouse, is the reason why Farkas wins this game quite a lot.
So I heard 4 roles: a thrower, 2 slingers.
Oh yeah, sorry. And then there's the catcher. He stands in the middle, and I totally forgot about it. The catcher stands in the middle, and somebody with really good reactions is as the 2 stones are being thrown over by the opposite team. If he has the reaction speed and the dexterity, he can try and catch those stones before they either land hitting the water or land hitting the shields. And if you can prevent that, then
while you're getting your feet wet, get used to the idea.
He stands on the center round shield.
So how many? Is there a shield for each person, or are there 4 shields?
Yep. No, there's 4 shields, and then the runner stands on a rail that's attached to the center wall. That splits between the 2 people.
Okay. It's pretty high.
Splits between 2 teams.
Back his mouse here, Luke. I think you should get your gear before we start this, because there's a high percentage chance that this is all going to go to shit.
This has been troubling me all morning. We all desperately want to help Jaquai. Mouse, your fears are well taken. Although I, as you pointed out, this rogue Dawn Guard agent, freelancer, whatever, mercenary, whatever she is. Jaquai, what is, my slight knowledge of the coin and the order she mentioned was not I don't know. Is she to be trusted?
Well, her order doesn't really give her any honor. It's mostly a misfit outfit, but her companion is going to be responsible for the honor of his outfit. This group called Dawn Guard. If she doesn't live up to her end of the deal, there certainly will be consequences for her, one way or another.
And when you say misfit outfit, I roll my eyes around the 4 of us, trying to figure out exactly what we represent here. not exactly the least motley of crews, but so Mouse, I agree with you that the logical conclusion in a Nuzera's mind is dangerous, but I think we are also very far away from that. If we will have information, we will have much of the same information she has. We will have there are other authorities, there are other voices.
Luke, I'm talking about right now. I'm saying there's a high percentage chance she'll get caught in your Oscar, and then they'll know about us and what the distraction was, and then we're going to be in trouble. That's why I think you should get your gear.
No. Well, that is. So I was focusing on some of the long-term implications you mentioned of the companions and of the companions and calling down the wrath of the Dawn Guard on the companions. That's a very big. That's a big picture item and very important, but also long term. I agree with you that there are short term items. There's something much more in the short term. First of all, have any of you guys played this game?
You have played it.
I have.
You've played it, Luke.
I have. Okay, that was something that was
as a thrower, somebody of your size and your build and your strength.
Okay. So it's not as unheard of as we were first thinking. Okay, that makes me feel much better. So
yeah, your characters know all about this game.
Oh, okay, that's good. All right, I didn't realize it was more common than. Okay,
yeah. So we just didn't play it at the monastery.
Yeah, that's it. Jaquai knows of it. He's probably the least knowledgeable about this game.
Okay, fair. Okay, his job is the most straightforward. He just has to catch a couple of little rocks, and I think that's very much within his capabilities. As long as we tie his gi up around his ankle, around his knees, so he doesn't get his robes wet. Look, Mouse, I agree. If she's caught, certainly, if nothing else, Eris has something to answer for, since he took responsibility for getting her out of jail.
Fair point.
But
Yeah,
but I
there's going to be it has to be 5 players. You need a 5th player. There's only 4 of you.
So we'll need Eris.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be with you while you're playing the game.
Yeah. So from the standpoint of she is cocky enough to believe that this will work. Now, that doesn't mean that it will work. She is cocky enough to believe that it will work.
I don't
And
know.
she is. I did not detect that she is deceiving us. This is genuinely her plan.
Make no mistake. The Harbinger of the Companions is a formidable person. Y'all is a formidable person.
No, I think none of us should consider. I don't think there should be any consideration of us coming to blows with the Companions.
Okay.
If
I won't worry then.
If she's caught in your Beskar, then that is for her and her Dawn Guard to sort out.
Well, let's go play some games then. I volunteer for the rail.
Now, Colin, is it it sounds like you were describing the game as using the actual shields of the individuals, not sort of notional shields. Is that right?
When it first started, it was the shields of the actual people when they first invented the game. But obviously now these are constructed things that resemble shields, but they're like sturdy enough for people to stand up.
Okay. So, should there be some sort of we didn't enter the city under the pretense of being a traveling siege stone team. We were only 4 coming in. We ran into Eris. What's our story? Did every random group of 5 travelers who happen to meet up in a bar wind up challenging the Companion?
Sorry for the interruption, but when he said, "What's the story?" I just imagined everybody turning around and looking directly at Botty.
Because we better get our act together, guys.
All right.
Well, we can let Body get really drunk and challenge the best team in Siege Stone to a contest to defend their honor.
That's I like that. It's a bit more organic than just us walking up to the front door of your Beskar and rapping on the door and asking for a game. So, Mouse, do the Companions, when they're not drinking in their own hall, do they drink in the Bannered Mare or the Drunken Huntsman?
I think they pretty much keep to themselves.
Interesting. So the Bannered Mare is closer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going to...
All we really need to do is let Body... We'll just unleash her and allow her to make a scene.
I for once, I agree with you that is our best plan of action.
And I have no doubt that it'll end up getting back to your Vasker in plenty of time to be effective.
I've said my piece. I'll follow whatever you guys want to do.
Body, are you down?
I could make a ruckus.
I thought you had it in you.
So, this discussion over. The idea of the plans kind of adding to what Anuzra's initial ideas. You slowly make your way back towards the Bannered Mare to Anuzra and Eris. You head back in, and you see through the back door that the door is still open. You can't see anybody, but they would be off to the left, so you still wouldn't be able to see them, but they're always there. So, Eris, it is you and Anuzra. Flair is by your feet, sort of like still finishing off that bone, sort of like, chomping on it, getting the good bites in, sort of like, practicing, sort of like, cleaning his jaws up, keeping the strength up. And Anuzra is finding every sweet thing that she can find, and she's had everything, and she's all the sweet stuff now. She's just polishing off the last of the sweet rolls.
Okay. Eris asks what her plan is of getting out of the city when all of this is done.
Yeah, well, hopefully I can just go through the front door. If they will not realize I'm there, I will get everything that I need. I head out the front of Yorvaskar while you are out at the back. Have you been to Yorvaskar?
No.
He goes, they have the one that faces the back wall, and the area where they have the training grounds has now been changed. They're getting ready for the siege storm for the game last night. So they are got the what they call it, like a veranda that leads out, and they all sit around and get drunk on mead and wish they had fur like this one. And they all look at so that faces us. So everybody will be out the back, so like watching the idiots play, and the rest of them will be playing, and the other idiots will be watching them. I go in through the front of your Vasker, make sure nobody sees me. The only ones that I probably have to worry about would be the old guy, but he can barely see anymore. And then there is the old the maid, and she comes in, she cleans, she cooks, she sort of like stores things. Very clever, but also very slow. So, and also pretty old too. So, as long as the Anuzra can sort of like get around her, then everything should be fine. And the only issue is where I got the last piece was Ayala's room, and she is our best bet to get proof, because I know for a fact I can smell it out. I know for the fact that if I can get in there again, but she is going to be on guard. Maybe she has and taking things. So as long as I can get in and find something straight away, then I'll be in and out, and you won't even know. You'll still be playing while I've already gone. But if things go wrong, I might have to search other places, other rooms of other people to try and find this proof that I need. And once that is, then it's good. Then I gone. I leave. I will not head towards Windham and that direction. I will head back through, Falkreath and up towards Helgen, and then off through the back mountains, heading through Rifted that way.
Back to Fort Dawnguard.
Yes, so we get back through the winter areas up into the mountains. Once I I approach. I will. If you know that road, and you do know that road. If you know that road on the road just before a couple of days before you get to I've forgotten the name of the fucking town. Once you get
Iverstead?
to Iverstead, thank you very much, Victor. So a couple of days before they get to Iverstead, there is a little shack that everybody knows. You know this. There used to be an alchemist there. You could still see his bones. They're under the bed. Everybody goes around and sleeps on top of his bones. It's a total gas. It's hilarious. But once I get there, and I'm sure that I'm free, I will stay there for a couple of days. If you can catch up to me, maybe there's. If not, then I can. Once I get to Fort Dongard, I can have the Barneyest guy, the stupid one with RK. I can get him to send a message to this Chiquai and give him the information about his brother.
Okay. Well, if they may wish to have this information sooner than after a week's worth of travels to the alchemist shack, but I'll let them decide that. They may suggest meeting up somewhere closer outside of Whiterun, but I'll let them decide how they feel about that.
Yeah. All right. I think I smell the ginger one coming. Let us get ready. So after a few minutes, you guys walk in and enter into the Bannered Mount.
So we've agreed to play the game. We will need Eris to be on the team to round out our 5. And I would like you to write the information down and drop it in a stash outside the city on your way out of town. Since I don't think we can catch up with you without being obvious, I think that is going to be our best way of sharing this information. Since I assume everything you know about it, can be written down.
Mouse in Thieves' Camp asks Anuzura if she speaks this secret language.
Jerry, I don't understand what you're talking about.
Sorry, just something I ate, I guess.
I suppose that would be. Actually, that would be easier, but I will not leave this information until after the game has started.
Understood.
Where shall I? Do you have a particular place you want me to leave this information? A particular location? Is there someone known that we know is safe, that nobody's going to just stumble across it? Every time I see people, sometimes they walk in the city and they just start looking in every single barrel and taking everything out of it. Pieces of glass and, locks and little things that they find in every barrel that they see. It's unbelievable.
So there were several trees cut down behind the brewery that we passed on the way in. That I think you'll have to pass no matter which direction you go out of town.
Yes, the brewery, the Honeymead Brewery. Yes, that the smelly one, Tovar. He goes there quite often. I know that place. Yes. So a tree stump out the back of the field. I do not recognize, and I will try to find one that is closest to the back, directly behind it. So not off to the left or off to the right, or one that you need to go hunting around 50 different ones. I'll try to find one that is closest, very back of the hunting community, and I will give it a couple of waning moons. Yes.
Perfect.
I'd like the inside check to ensure she's being truthful with her intent.
Go for it.
Oops. Ugh. I don't know nothing. It was an 8.
Seems perfectly genuine. She
Yeah.
Eyes wide open.
She's straight up. She's a straight edge warrior.
So we are in agreement. Fantastic. Now, the one that the one that they all follow apart from the Harbinger is the big one, and he loves this game. So he is the one that you need, and I don't think it will require that much convincing. In fact, I think the guards refuse them regularly because they do not wish to be humiliated. The only thing I will to try to be good, because this game can end pretty quickly, especially with that I don't know what to call him, monster, the walking bear. I've never seen anything quite like it before. But yes, the really big one, Farquaad. Go to him, talk to him, invite him for the game. He will be the easiest to convince, and he will convince the others. You're in agreement, yes?
Yes.
Yep.
And out of game, have a time check. How long have we been going? It hasn't been that long, has it?
No.
I mean, 45 minutes, 40 something. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. So we are in agreement, yes? Amazing. So I will leave the rest to play you, and you probably should not be seen with me for a bit, including maybe I should go hide now, actually. If I am seen with Eris when they come talking, well, it may not be so good for you. Maybe you might want to leave pretty quickly after this. Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
So are we going to play this game today?
Yes, we want to do this as quickly as possible. The guards are just going to get more and more suspicious of me the longer I am in town. We need to do this now. The best thing is now. It is what? It's coming up to what? It's almost 12. So it's almost 1. So it is perfect time for a game. They'll be just getting over last night's hangovers and getting ready to start drinking again. So it is the perfect time.
So when we were walking back, we were thinking it might be a bit odd for 4 random strangers, one of whom was not even part of the group, to just challenge the companions to a game of Siege Stone. Does this happen often? Does this not seem sort of a strange thing for us just to go rap on the door of Jorviskar and ask for a game?
Well, that is the only place for the miles that you can have a game. You say you want to have a game. This is the only place you can have a game. You could say you see the game yesterday. Yes, you went to watch the Wild Gods. You got nostalgic. You want to play game again, and you hear. Obviously, everybody knows this big idiot loves this game. So They want to challenge him. Everybody wants to challenge him until they've played him twice and he destroys them. Then they never want to play him again.
I look to Mouse, Jaquai, Body. Are we okay to abandon the other plan and just go rap on the door of Jorviskar?
I think it's probably the most straightforward, and yes, let's just do that. I mean, we're not random. We're a group. We've been seen in town together. People know we've been here.
Right, then I must be gone. Yes, Eris, I am gone.
I agree.
Over here, it would probably be best if they see me leave through the front gate, but they see me leave through the front gate. They're not going to let me back in through the front gate. Oh well. So,
is there just someplace you can lay low for a while?
Yes, I was hoping to show them that me leaving, but I don't think there is a way for me to get back in unseen. They will definitely spot me coming in. The walls are too large to... I can scale some, but if something goes wrong,
I have a rope that maybe we could use.
Well, I will...
And everybody knows if you walk around to the north side of the wall and follow it until you get to the big rock outcropping next to Jorvaskr, you can slide underneath the rocks and come up underneath Jorvaskr.
I'm pretty sure
it's
they
only on
patched
Xbox 360.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they patched that. They went out there with a nice big patch, and
it must have been an unofficial patch.
Well, they see a passing troop. They hire them, but they do a good job, you know. Plus, you don't have to pay tax, you know. So, yes, I will be gone now, and let me prepare what you need, and yes, okay. So she gets up, and she goes, all right. Well, I am really sorry, but I cannot help you. Okay, I am going now. Back.
Okay, bye.
And I will never see any of you again. I spit on you. And she marches out the door.
And Mouse puts his foot out and tries to trip her on the way out the door.
Oh, wow. That performance check was a 3. Yeah, so let's see. Older 13. She didn't pay that much. I ain't. And Mikhail got a 1, so he knows nothing.
Yeah, because he's anyway.
And Selma got a 3, so yeah, nothing. So yeah, you probably only have to worry about. But the only problem is probably the most respectable one who you have to worry about. Who noticed that? So, Anuzra has left, and it's just you 5 remaining in the back room. Now Anuzra has left.
All right, I guess we should give her about a half an hour, maybe, to get situated and ready.
I look at the group. I point to Mouse, Runner. I point to Body and Eris. What are Slingers? Was that the
Yep,
Slingers? Myself, Thrower, and Jaquai will be the catcher. Any disagreement?
Nope.
Sounds good.
And loath though I am to do this, I also nominate myself as a schlub who goes and knocks on the door of Jorvaskr for this, because I can claim to have wanted to play a game of Shieldstone with the companions ever since my family was exiled to Cyrodiil.
And test
And
your
I
mettle
think-
against the greatest. You gotta inflate his ego a little bit. The greatest.
And
Shieldstone player.
I think that Kinerath will forgive me for the lie.
Okay. So, you guys down down the rest of what's in your tankards.
I pour everything that Anuzura didn't drink on her way out the door. I pour into a tankard and down it in one gulp for a little.
So Luke has had a nice mouthful of mead and milk.
Actually, Mouse is going to forgo because he wants to make sure he has good balance on the. But Mouse walks out and grabs a sweet roll from Hulda for a copper.
Yep, and she says, "Oh, lucky last one." She kind of cleaned us all out.
So and before we break, in all jest aside, I think we are best served not to attempt to cheat.
I don't think I know enough to know how to cheat.
Well, I was thinking in terms of casting spells or using
yes,
using enhanced.
Yeah,
I think we are best served not to. Yeah, I don't think we want to win. I think we want to prolong the game, and if their egos are stroked, so be it.
Okay.
Agreed.
Just a little reminder, Luke, you're still in your Jimmy Jams.
No. I'm in mufti. I'm in my like little sort of generic tunic or whatever. So yeah, that's do we want to go on in force to knock on the door and show a show of bravado, or shall I go by myself? I'm good either way.
I think we should all stand around looking important and dangerous on the bottom, near the bottom of the stairs, while you knock on the door.
Okay. Very well. And so, what's the name of this Grand High Mucky Muck of the companions who fancies himself such a lovely thrower?
His name's Marcus.
Marcus. Okay. Okay. And do we know any other companions who fancy obviously the entire group fancies themselves as quite the players. Are there others who that whose names I should invoke when I'm throwing down the proverbial gauntlet?
You'd have to ask Mouse that. You wouldn't know from your history check.
Yeah. That's a question for Mouse or maybe for Eris if he's more of a local than in this regard.
Well, Mouse would know about Farkas's brother, Vilcus, and he certainly...
You roll a history check. History check.
Okay.
History check.
Natural 20.
20, yeah. Sometime after the death of the last Harbinger, Vilcus disappeared. Nobody knows where he's... You have no idea where he is.
Okay.
Whether other people know where he is, but it's not.
But I know he disappeared.
Natural 20. Yeah, you know he disappeared sometime after the death of the last Harbinger. With a natural 20, you've probably heard some rumors that people probably thought he was, whether it's true or not, that he was upset about who the new Harbinger was. You've also heard rumors that when the new Harbinger took over, they brought on a new dark elf, a Dunmer, and he was not a magic caster, but he was a priest of Mara, who has joined their ranks, who uses magic to and aids them in their battles against dragons.
His name wouldn't begin with an E, would it?
It definitely would. With a natural 20, you definitely know who that is.
Cool. Okay.
Because you're hearing all these rumors, like people chatting about rumors about were this great warrior Vilcus, and you just happen to hear all these rumors, and also you heard rumors that he was at odds with the new Harbinger because of who her companion was. Some of the time is that as her follower was the Dragonborn. On certain occasions, going into certain battles, he was following her. And he is a prolific magic user. He is a definite wizard mage. And you think that Vilcus, rumors are about that Vilcus didn't like that, bringing it into Jorvaska.
Right,
but
so
he's not a companion.
I would pass that on along with the name of Ayla and another. Is there still a certain elf who's a real shithead and runs away from fights? Whose name begins with an A?
Yeah,
is he still there?
Yep, he's still
okay.
there. So you would probably know that definitely Ayala would be there, and as you're thinking about it, the only one who you could probably think would probably be the catcher would probably be Nyaja, Stonearm.
Mm-hmm.
She's very proficient in hand-to-hand combat. So, and you're thinking maybe one of the others, but you don't know who the exact team is. But you have seen them around when you've been around the town and that.
All right.
And so who is the Harbinger now?
Is Mjol the Lioness? So you were asking. Fucking, sorry, I interrupted.
Oh no, were you asking me or were you asking our DM?
I mean, in character asking Mouse because he's the one who would know.
Mjol the Lioness is the Harbinger. She took over from old Kodlak, who had been the Harbinger for many years.
Okay,
truly a great warrior. He was truly a great man. And Mjol, as I've said, is a formidable person, with her great glass sword named Grim Sever.
So you guys all head upstairs. You and Eris and Flair following up behind. Head up the steps in front of the tree off to your right, and then you see the great hall of Jorvaska.
I do go get my gear.
You go and get your gear? Okay.
Yeah, get my gear. Yeah.
It probably takes you like about 5 minutes to don all your armor.
Yeah, I got it. Make sure every buckle is just so. And we got to put it on a good look for the companions.
As you pop in to the Temple of Kinnereth, you pop in. As you walk in, you see Danica. She's over on the opposite side. So as you walk in to the temple from the tree side, on the opposite side, you see where the main shrine is, where it's got the purple shrine to Kinnereth, and it has the sapphire right at the top. She's standing there in front of the opposite a Nordman. He's probably about just under 6 foot, probably 5'10", 5'11", and he's standing there talking to her, and he's just dressed in a normal tunic, clothes, but the left side of his face is facing you, and you have a look, and on the left side of his face, where his eye is, there's a really big burn scar all around the outside of his eye. His eyebrow has been burned off, and it goes down half the side of his face to his hairline, just above his sideburns. And then around the mouth, on the left side of his mouth, there's also burn marks to the side of his mouth, and on the left side, so from the middle where his nose comes in, from there to the left side is all burn marks, and they stretch across a little bit to the side of about the middle of his cheek. And he's talking to Danica Purespring. As you enter the room, they both look at you and stop talking.
Excuse me for interrupting. I'm Lady Danica. I'm just here to retrieve some of my gear from the initiate's room.
Yeah. Enjoy your morning.
We did. It was a lovely morning, and some of my companions have convinced me to play a game of Siege Stone, it seems. And I shake my head at my own folly and walk past.
You're heading up to your Vasco, and she sort of like looks at the guy, and he turns around and looks at you, and sort of like he's giving you like a bit of a look, sort of like, you know, he doesn't smile. He doesn't have the look of a person with a face that has ever smiled.
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it to Danica to introduce me or not to him. So I'm not going to. I'm just going to nod at him. But as I'm walking by him, unless she stops me to introduce me to him, I'm going to just nod and walk by. But as I'm walking by, I'm going to just give a look at him. You know, how is he dressed? You know, does he have any obvious symbols of faith or profession or anything else?
Yeah, he does have an amulet of Kinnereth around the neck.
Okay.
A very simple amulet of Kinnereth that you can purchase with a small donation to any of the. It's not quite as nice as yours. It's one of the ones that they give out to parishioners whenever they come in and make a small donation. They can purchase a symbol of Kinnereth. And he's just in normal shoes, normal trousers, and in simple sort of like beige tunic.
And well, given the holy symbol, I will specifically I won't introduce myself or anything else. I'll if there's a particular customary blessing or greeting between members of the faithful, I'll give that. Otherwise, I'll just say something like, you know, bless you, my brother, and I'll give him a nod and recognition.
Between, like, you know, like priest, so between you and Danica, you would probably say like blessings of Kinnereth be upon you. But sometimes that can be a bit long-winded. If it's just a priest, you can say Kinnereth bless you.
Yeah, and I'll do exactly that. Not knowing him as a priest, I'll do exactly that. Kinnereth bless you, and unless Danica stops me, I'll just go back and retrieve my gear and get dressed there in the initiate's room where I slept.
He gives you a slight nod as you say Kinnereth bless you, and sort of like, you know, again, there's no change in his facial expressions. He just sort of like gives you a nod. He's got very cold, steely blue eyes. Sort of like gives you a quick nod. Doesn't move apart from his head, like turning to look at you, and he seems very sort of like very comfortable in his own skin, and not doesn't sort of like I'm trying to other than that, you go in, you get your armor, you don your armor. Takes about 5 minutes. You don't hear any discussions. You don't hear any words exchanged while you're putting your armor on, and you get up and leave. They're still standing in the same position, and as you're about to exit with your armor on.
Okay, I unless Danica actively stops me, or I'll just nod at the both and say, you know, have a good afternoon, and leave the temple.
And she goes, good luck.
Over my shoulder, we'll need it.
You head off. So, you start to head off and up towards Yovaska.
Yeah, I meet up with the rest of my group and look around the group and say, well, shall we do this?
Mouse just shrugs. Sure.
Let's see, I'm looking at my spell list. I promised I wouldn't cheat while we were playing the game, but I was looking to see if I had anything that would help me with this little fiasco I'm about to get into here.
Maybe not on your spell list, but Botty probably has something that could probably help you if.
Buddy, any words of inspiration to share for me?
Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
What a bum.
Absolutely brilliant. So what's that? What's Body's inspiration die? Is it a D4, D6?
It should be a D6, but I'm not quite sure that was actual casting of an inspiration die. Botty?
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. What should we do?
Classically, you rattle off a little bardic ditty to inspire me to be honey tongued when I'm speaking with the with the companions.
Well, I did happen to find a little scroll I pull out of my boot. Has some Nordic script to it that I cannot understand myself. But when I speak them, the words provided a particular source of inspiration to you as you heard them. I can only pronounce the words, but do not understand them.
Okay. All right, Colin. Does that qualify as an inspiration die for use?
Go for it.
All right. I will mark an inspiration die for now. All right. So with that in mind, I take a deep breath, march up the stairs to your Viscar and your Vasker, and rap firmly on the door with my mailed fist.
You rap on the door, and 20 seconds go past. 30 seconds go past. You don't hear anything.
Don't hear anything? Sorry, I'll just open it. It seems like a quasi-public place. I'll just open the door and just step right in and look around.
Okay, you on the door, open it up. You have a look around to your left, to the right there. Roll a perception check.
Alrighty. Let's see. That is wisdom. Yeah. Ooh, pretty middling. An 11.
So as you're looking into your Vasco, you have looked, and it seems to be this a long table through the center of it. On the opposite side, you see some more doors, obviously leading out. Off to the left, you see what seems to be another door leading into rooms, which is currently closed. And you look off to your right, there seems to be some steps that leads up, and then some other steps that leads down. You have quite a look around. You don't see anybody around. There doesn't seem to be anybody in the main hall area at the moment.
Okay, so I think we were told that. Am I remember right that the Siegestone court was behind the building?
Yes.
Okay, so I sort of cock an ear. I don't want to just trot into their building without invitation, but I sort of listen. Is there noise of practice or sparring or anything else from the backyard?
Not with that 11, no.
Yeah. Well, so at this point, we have nothing to hide here. I'll just say, I'll just call out, hello? Anyone home?
A few seconds, go back, and then you hear a door click to the opposite side, and then you hear some footsteps coming up, and they go clang, clang, clang. And as you're looking over, you see to the stairs to your right that are leading up to the level that you're on. It seems to be coming up from a basement area. As you're looking over, you hearing this noise. You see the very top of this green sword coming up traveling up the stairs, and then you see the top of this blonde-haired head as it rises up and gets taller and taller. And there you see the woman that you seen the other day. Mjolnir the Lioness, also called the Harbinger of the Companions.
We're going straight to the top. I like it. That's great.
Afternoon. Can I help you?
Good afternoon. Do I have the honor of addressing the Harbinger of the Companions?
You do. You addressed the Harbinger of the Companions with those honeyed words.
Thank you for taking time to speak with me. I'm known as Luke Icewalker, a newcomer here to the city, and well, frankly, I hear that there's some Siege Stone being played this week. Would you be up for a game?
She kind of like her bottom lip or hangs open for a second with her mouth open, and she intakes a big breath, and then there's a roll of the eyes. She's like, another who seems to think games or competitive sports have value. If you want to talk to somebody about that, talk to them outside and go around the back. So like you can go through this or just circle around the building. But yeah, I have no interest in such things.
Do I note any religious symbols on her gear at all?
Now the only thing you notice is that there's her exceptionally well made plate armor is right at the neck where it just meets just below the throat. Her throat there's a protruding wolf's head. I think you saw this when you met. You don't see it now because it's a bit too far away, but you saw it. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, just yesterday
morning when you arrived in town. And there's a protruding wolf's head at the very top of the arm.
Thank you for your time, my lady. And I exit. I'll go collect.
She turns around and starts walking back downstairs again.
Yep, and I exit the door, go to the bottom of the steps, collect the group, and say, they're around back, and just lead around to the. I forget, is there an obvious path to get from the front door? I believe there's an obvious path to get to the back where
both
she
sides.
refers to.
Yeah, you can circle around the back either side, go to the left or go to the right.
Yeah. So walk around there. I continuing the lead. Having screwed my courage to the sticking point, I'm taking the lead here.
So you head around the building and head around the back. As you come around the road, you start to hear the because you hear some slight splashing of water, and you hear some mild chatting and sort of a little bit of roughhousing, and then you hear this what seems to be a slap, and then a thud, and then another slap, and then another thud. And as you come around the corner, as you're circling around, sort of with Luke leading the way, you look around. Luke is looking around, and you all sort of come around the back and look up on the scene. You see the siege stone sort of pitch or stage. It's slightly off to the left, but just to the right of it, just under the veranda, you see a few people. You see a Dunmer down to sitting on a very short stool with red hair up into a bun, sitting to the left, and you see two Nord women to the right, and you see Ayla, the huntress, at the very back, and then you see this humongous Nord who is just as, if not bigger, than Lenny.
Mm.
But standing there with just trousers, with no top, bare, hairy-chested, but with a bear cloak over his shoulders, and large war paint splashed across his eyes and stretched across with long black hair, standing there shirtless, as the two women on the right have got their slings with their stones in them that you know that are used for the slingers, and they're slinging them at his abs. And they're banging straight into his slabs and slapping against his abdomen and falling and going clunk on the floor. Right, and they're saying, and was it Aethys is going 17, 18, and was it Ayla's behind going, not a word, remember, not a word, and you just see was it Farkas's face, who you take to be Farkas, just stone faced, just like gripping his teeth all the way through it with his hands behind his head. So, and I think, is that time where we can end it?
Yeah.
I think this is a good time to end it. Just as you approach to that scene of Farkas doing his training his muscles and getting ready for the day. So, thank you everybody for joining us on this episode of Skyrim 10 AD and episode 36. Join us next time when we get to see if our players can challenge the companions of Jorvaskr to a game of Siege Stone. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.
Skyrim 1080 would like to thank Tabletop Audio for the use of their music in this podcast. If you would like to find more music like this, just go to tabletopaudio.com for more information. Thank you.
Thank you for downloading this edition of Skyrim 10 AD. Email the show at skyrim10ad@gmail.com. For more information, please visit asapodcasting.com, where you will find a Skyrim Addict podcast, the Fallout feed, and our Amazon link, which benefits the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Find our social media in the show notes. Thanks for listening.